Take a look at this massive new development in Stockholm. It's a huge extension of the Swedish capital, and while it all seems perfectly nice in these pictures, you'd be forgiven for thinking there was nothing really unique about it. But zoom in closer and you'll spot something extraordinary. This entire district, spread across 25 city blocks, is being made from timber. It sounds crazy, but with large timber buildings already popping up across the region and sustainable construction high on the agenda, if anyone can do it, the Swedes can.
We have seen a lot of large projects. We have been involved in a lot of large projects, both in Sweden and Denmark.
And yet, it's a project that many will still question. What about fire, durability? Where will those trees come from? Is this all a bit unnecessary? Let's get to the root of it then. Here's how and why Sweden plans to build a timber city. Now, if you're familiar with our channels, then you'll know that timber construction has become quite the trend lately, especially in the Nordic countries. And the projects are getting bigger. There's this high-rise residential tower in Norway, a giant new art centre in Sweden, and Finland has even got a wood city. Yes, that's what this new neighbourhood in Helsinki is called. You'll find a huge office building and apartment blocks, all built from timber. It's quite an achievement, but considering it's only home to 3 main buildings, it isn't really much of a city. But a few hundred kilometres across the Baltic Sea, Stockholm is planning to build its very own wood city, and there can be no arguments about the name with this development. Extending over 250,000 square metres, it's believed to be the world's largest wooden construction project, according to Atrium Ljungberg, the company developing it. It'll offer 7,000 office spaces, 2,000 homes, restaurants, shops and more, along with its own power generation and storage system. The site for this massive new scheme is in Segezha, just a few kilometres east of central Stockholm, on land owned by the developer. Works are set to get underway in 2025, and the first buildings are due to complete in 2027. So why have they chosen timber, and so much of it? Well, there are the environmental benefits to start off with. Right now, the construction industry and the built environment it produces is responsible for about 40% of all global CO2 emissions. And that's because it's relying on carbon-intensive materials like concrete and steel. Timber is a much more low-carbon alternative and should always be sourced from sustainably managed forests. By that, we mean more than just replanting trees that are cut down. Sustainable forests are preserved in a way that delivers social, economic and environmental benefits both for society and for the forest itself. Timber can also lock carbon inside the wood, and it's lighter than concrete or steel. On top of that, it can improve air quality, mental health and well-being as well, both for the people using the building and those constructing it, while also reducing noise.
It's silent, it smells good, and it's a dry and warm working place for the construction workers.
Urban Blomster is on the building services team at Södra, a Swedish forest association. It also offers products and services and promotes the development of timber in construction.
If you compare with concrete, prefab concrete, then you because of the weight, you have quite small walls and slabs that you work with because of the weight. But in this case, we can work with 2.5 or 3 times larger panels. So with that, you have a productivity in the construction phase.
That's important because there's clearly going to be the need for vast quantities of timber at Wood City. Fortunately, the people building the new district won't have to go far to get it. About 70% of Sweden is covered by forests, and it's the world's 3rd largest exporter of wood-based products. Then there's the structural qualities. These buildings are going to be made from a type of engineered mass timber called CLT, which stands for cross-laminated timber. Now, CLT is specially manufactured in factories to make it super strong, quick to assemble, and well prepared against fire. Yes, really. This wooden city won't just burn down in a matter of minutes, if that's what you're thinking. Mass timber panels are designed to char slowly in the event of a fire, allowing enough time for it to be put out and for people to be evacuated. Another big reason why this type of project has been put forward in this particular location is because it's what people here want to see. One survey carried out in early 2023 by Södra revealed that over 70% of Swedes think their country should invest more in climate-smart construction materials, including wood. and almost half would prefer their next home to be built mainly with timber. That's all despite Sweden falling into recession and timber becoming more expensive than traditional options.
In Sweden we have a quite long and close history to forests, forest and wood. If you look into a single houses, say 99% of them are built in wood, so and cottages and stuff like that. So it's very close to people to live in wooden houses. So I think the perception is very much around that.
When there's a housing shortage to contend with as well, and demand for more office space in the area, you start to realise why Stockholm Wood City does make a lot of sense, even though building it won't be easy. With CO2 emissions accelerating climate change and construction partly to blame, large sustainable projects like this becoming more common can only be a good thing. Is it an example for other cities to follow? Well, it's kind of too early to say, but as timber buildings continue to get bigger and more widespread, the benefits of this construction method are becoming clearer all the time. Whether it goes on to be a success or not, it's the sort of idea we're going to need to see more of, and not just in Scandinavia. When it comes to climate change, unless construction gets to grips with these low-carbon materials, we might never get out of the woods. Don't forget that we're raising awareness of construction's mental health crisis and supporting charities in this space through our Get Construction Talking initiative. There's a video series on our channel, and you can find support or donate over at getconstructiontalking.org. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about where construction is headed, make sure you're subscribed to tomorrow's build.